I can help
Amazing.
once I get the YouTube going.
All right, perfect. I got Megan. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Five, four, three, two, one. Hit it.
Welcome everybody to Friday Night Live. I'm so excited to kick off the panel with you lovely ladies again this week. So this week we're going to be talking about building your list, right? This is super, super important because what? People are the inventory to our business, and without people, we have no business, right? So we have to have this. So it is vital. Um, so we've got a few questions for you ladies. We're gonna start with Karen. So
Okay.
number one, it is when you were first starting out, how did you approach building your initial list of contacts?
Just like I was coached, just like we coach people now. Like I just wanted to talk with my family and close friends. The closest people that I talk to, the people that I talk to the most were my first ones, I believe. So it was because I already am talking with them the most. I even did get on a call with my half sister and half brother, and I don't talk to them as much, but I did. So yeah, like just like I think we all probably tell everybody to start thinking of those people, those close people.
For sure, for sure. Starting with the closest people to you, right? Because it's one, right? You're going through training, so you don't know everything, right? So it's a little more comfortable to meet with your people before meeting with a complete stranger, right? Because they know that you're in training. It's just a little bit easier way to get your feet wet and get started in it. What about you, Megan? Were you first starting out? How did you approach your initial list of contacts?
Um, Kind of the same. So really just the closest friends and family, people that, I felt safe with, that I was comfortable with. You're just trying to get out there to show them what you're doing so that, yeah, you're getting your name out there too, but you're also going to be just learning a little bit about it and then just kind of going from there. So mostly just the same kind of concept, friends and family, people that you're safe with, that you're comfortable with, that you don't mind, getting messed up with, getting having mistakes and everything. So just like your safe five, your safe 10, all of that.
For sure, for sure. And what about you, Jennifer? I know you've been in the business quite a while now. How did you first start your list?
I it was the same way. I did my family first, and then I did my coworkers because I spend so much time with my coworkers that I started going to them next because I was most comfortable with them outside of my family. And then I just built from there.
Good, good. So there's obviously a system to that, right? We start with our hot and warm market and work our way outwards, right? Um, we're gonna transition to question number two, which is what are some creative or non-traditional-ish ways that you've added new people to your list over time? We'll start with you, Miss Karen.
Oh, I didn't even think of one of those creative ways, but I mean, I have an answer that's going to be later, I guess, but is just talking to people, right? But more so when I'm just some of these are might be when I'm at church events. It's not somebody that's going to be a right away talk to, right? But it's just making sure that I like, oh, can I have your number? Like, I'd love to catch up with you sometime, or if we can have coffee or whatever, or just for future if we need to get a hold of each other. So it's just adding them so that someday I'll come back to them, right?
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I think a lot of times we overthink it, right? We overthink it a lot. We get in our head. We try to talk ourselves out of it, right? We scare ourselves a little bit when it's really not that serious. It's just talking to people. Like Karen said, we're just talking to people, building relationships. And I think one thing that just kind of like came to mind that I want to touch on a little bit is when you are out and about or you are at church events or networking events or other type of community events, right? And you're meeting people, you don't necessarily always have to have your business at the top of your mind, right? You don't always have to be like, oh, this person's going to be a good prospect. Like, yes, you're going to have that, of course, right? That's going to come to mind, but just building a relationship with them and then going from there, right? Just being a person. Like you don't have to make it weird. But what about you, Megan? What is a creative non-traditional way that you have built your list over time?
I would say I wouldn't necessarily again call it like non-traditional, but I think like if you're part of like a mom group or things like that, when you're if you're out with the kids and you see somebody else that's kind of in the same situation, things like that. I've also had a few instances where when, you know, I'm also a hairstylist. So when I've been talking to some of my clients, you know, and I'm a little bit closer with, you know, I kind of get their name and number like on the side, you know, and then like contact them, you know, outside of the salon, and do all that as well.
For sure. For sure. That's good. That's good. Like you said, just being a person. Oh, mom life.
Yep, that's it.
What about you, Jennifer? What is a way outside of maybe that hot, warm market that you've gotten cotton contacts from?
So I have learned to plant seeds, and then I come back and water those seeds later. And I get their contacts based off of previous conversation. Well, I get all their contacts. Let me just say that. I get all contacts, but I like to plant the seeds so that they can think about what, you know, whatever the subject financially is. It don't matter what, you know, what product we're using, it's a seed. And then we can just build from there, and I can come back and water that seed later. So church events for sure. When me and the kids go to the playground and there's other moms, I'll talk to them, like, because we see them regularly. Like one lady, it's so funny because she was like, I have a business card. I said, oh, do you? Can I have it? Because we were just having a conversation. I'm like, and I didn't have my business card, so I felt some kind of way, but it's okay. I got hers. So plant seeds for sure.
Yes, that's good. That's good. I think that's good to touch on a little bit more because I'm sure that we have multiple moms on here, right? Just
Mhm.
talking with moms. And like I said, your business doesn't have to be at the top of your mind all the time. Just talk about, you know, what you have in common, right?
Yes.
Ask questions, right? Sometimes it's not about you telling, you know, word vomiting all over them. Ask them about what they do, right? And
Yes.
then you can kind of, you know, you fill them out, figure out where they're at, and then work your way into talking about your business and setting up a meeting with them, right? So,
Yes.
like I said, a lot of times we overthink this, but it's really very simple. Okay, you're talking to people all the time. We're going to transition to question number 3, which is how do you overcome the fear of reaching out to people that you haven't spoken to in a while? We'll start with Mama Karen.
Oh, well, it just push the button, right? Uh, uh, Daniel, sometime great coach Daniel, right? My son, he's my son, by the way, said just get their name, their phone number there and just like count down from whatever and just push the button. I recently, maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I called an old coworker who I haven't worked with for over 10 years. And I'm like, oh, I do have her number, right? So I just called and she actually answered too, right? So we just started chatting. But like, yeah, I'm like, okay, I bring in the phone number up on my phone, yeah, their contact, and I'm like, all right, 3, 2, 1, push, just do it.
Yes, for sure. Just do it. Just put yourself out there, right? I know like I just mentioned, we a lot of times overthink things, right? If you guys are familiar with Mel Robbins, she has the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule means you literally are scared. You're scared to do something, you're nervous, you don't want to do something, and you count down from 5 and then you just do it. You don't think about it, you just do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go. And then there it is. And you're putting yourself out there, you're making that effort, and then usually just kind of flows from there. What about you, Megan? What are some ways that you overcome fear in reaching out to people?
I like how you just said that 5-second rule. I like that a lot. But I think for me, sometimes it's either just doing it, or sometimes with people, I'll try to like rebuild that relationship again, just check in and see like how they are. And then, you know, a day later or whenever, call them up, get their actual phone number, say like, if you're reaching out on Facebook, like, what's your number? You know, I'd love to catch up, and then kind of do that at a later point. So that's one way I like to do that as well. But also, like you said, like you're in your head a lot. So if you don't overthink it, you know, you're not gonna be able to not do it. Like you get in your head, you're like, oh, this person's gonna think like this and that, this and that. If you just do it, you don't have time to think about it, you know? So I think that's definitely the biggest thing too, is just having that positive mindset too.
That's good. That's good. And along with the mindset thing, right? Sometimes you gotta hype yourself up. Like just talk talk yourself up. Like, I got this, I'm good. Look in the mirror and say some affirmations and then do the 5-second rule and knock it out. But we're gonna transition because we are getting close to our time limit. But we're gonna go into question number 4. So I'll start with Jennifer on this. What is the difference between just having names on a list versus having a quality working list?
Ooh. So the difference is the quality, the good quality people that you need is always the 5 pointers. Oof. Now I'm going brain fart here. So it's the 5 qualities. Like, they have to have a job, they got to be working. I mean, have kids, have a home. I'm missing some, but forgive me.
You're
But
good.
so
Macho.
once you do that, macho, yes. Once you do that list and you see who you need to call them first. The married people, the people that have jobs, the people that have kids, the people that have the homes, that are buying homes. And listen to other people too. Like, who just bought a home that's in your circle, that's a referral, possible referral, that's extended. Like, get those numbers too. Like, those are the people that you want to sit down with, because they it's a need. It's a need. It's not a want. It's a need for them to, get the information that we have so they can better plan for their future and their family. So
For sure. For sure. So they become macho, right? It's theirs.
macho.
It's part of the system for a reason, you guys.
Yes.
You didn't see in the chat, macho stands for married, age 25 to 55, children in the home under 18, homeowner and has a occupation. I'm running blank. But yes, having those quality people, right? Because you can't, as much as you want to, right? As much as you want to help everybody, there's a specific amount of people that we can help. If somebody doesn't have a job, we can't really do anything, right?
Yep.
I mean, obviously we have an opportunity, but if they don't have a job to begin with, there's not a whole lot that we can do until they do get that, that stable position, right? We're here to help, people who are somewhat solid but need that next level. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really good. We'll go back to Mama Karen. What do you think the difference is by having just names on a list versus working those quality aspects?
I definitely agree with what Jennifer said. At one point I was rating like everybody on my Facebook friends, everybody on my paper, and I don't think that's a great way to do it, right? Because I don't even know a lot of them for real, right? We don't know. We're just adding people. Yes, there are people there, but like I think good quality people are probably more that we connected with. So if I connected with them already, maybe that's good, just even if we had a small conversation or something. But I had written them. I mean, that Facebook was shut down now a year and a half ago, so I don't even have most of them on there. Like, right. So so that's a different thing, right? So like I don't even know if all of them are that married age, the right appropriate age, or have kids and home and job, right? So like, yeah. So that being said, is maybe ones that you've connected a little bit more with on your Facebook, if you're going to write names from Facebook.
That's good. That's good. I like what Leah just said. It helps frame that intentional connection, right? And then we'll wrap it up with the last question. So I'll ask Megan and I'll touch on it a little bit, but how do you consistently keep your list growing so it never runs dry?
I think like kind of going back on what Karen said, but it's not necessarily quality right now, but sorry. Kind of adding friends on Facebook, adding people so that you're kind of continuing to grow that. And then from that, then just engage with them, comment on their posts, kind of do stuff like that, reach out to them on Messenger. And then I think that was mostly it though. And then kind of just get referrals from appointments that you do have and ask like that.
Yes. Yes, that's good. Yes, for sure. Social media is a great way to grow your list, right? Continuously showing up, engaging. Like I said, not always having your business at the top, top priority there. Not really top priority, but like the top of your mind and connecting with them on that, but just growing those relationships, right? Asking for referrals. If you have current clients, right? Ask them, hey, we've helped you out in this area. Who do you know that could also benefit from what we got going on, right? Getting out there into networking groups, right? Getting out there in your community and connecting with people. Relationships are just super important here. Like I said, it is the lifeblood of our business. So that wraps up our panel. Thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate you joining me this evening. But now we are going to switch gears and we're going to start with announcements. So thank you all for joining us for Friday Night Live. So excited to have you on. We got some really great things going on tonight, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear all of the training that we have scheduled and ready for. Give me just a second. I'm ready for you guys. All right, can you guys see my screen? All right. So it is all in August, okay? So thank you guys for being on time this evening. If you did not catch the panel, we need you here 15 minutes early so that you can hear next week a little bit about the people who are, productive in the business right now and hear their thoughts on what's going on. Please, please, please have your cameras on. Okay, we want to see your beautiful faces. I know that I'm guilty of this. Sometimes when I turn my camera off, I am not the most engaged, right? And you want to be intentional with your time here, and you want to be able to learn something. You want to take notes, right? If you haven't already, go ahead and get ready to take notes. Get your pencil, your pen, paper. If you are an electronics person, get out however you're going to take notes on your electronics. But I'm old school. I like pen and paper. That's just me. We're going to ignore my kids screaming and fighting in the hallway, but we're going to learn something tonight. We're moving on to guest Gulf Coast Getaway at the JW Marriott Marco Island Beach Resort. If you are brand new and you do not know what this is, our company is really awesome, and they offer these trips that you can earn. You guys, you can work towards earning a trip with our company, and it is all inclusive. So I don't know about you, but I want to be at Marco Island. The qualification period started back in May, but you still have time to earn your slot. They actually did a reset, which we're going to get into here in a second. But ask your trainer, your regional vice president, whoever is working with you on exactly what you need to do to earn this trip. So the reset is in the month of August, if you get one recruit and $1,000 in premium, or you are in your field training period, you can also observe that field training. You will get a reset, which means we'll get you back on track to be able to earn your slot on the Gulf Coast Getaway. We got opportunities for all field training bonus recruits. Okay, so this is awesome. This is so good. They have additional bonuses this month, you guys. Additional, what I like to call free money, okay? Because you are brand new, you are not licensed, and the company is incentivizing you, okay? So how do you earn this money? So get personally one recruit and $1,000 in field training premium, which means if you observe your trainer selling life insurance, and that equals up to $1,000 of premium in August, you bank an additional $200 bonus. Okay, this is on top of your regular bonus structure, which, like I said, if you're brand new, your trainer should have went over that with you, but basically it's the same setup. For every $1,000 in premium you do and one recruit you get a $200 bonus. Okay, so this is an additional $200. You also get a $50 credit for logging into your Primerica app within 24 hours. And then if you complete your pre-licensing in 30 days, the company is giving you another $100. Okay, so that's $350, you guys, that you can earn additionally on top of your regular bonus structure. That's incredible. Securities licensing bombshell. All right, we've got a bonus for securities license people. They do not do this very often. But if you pass the required exams, become active with PFSI, which is our investment company, you can earn $1,000 in bonuses. You guys, that is incredible. So if you are not securities licensed, now's the time to start getting licensed. Okay. You're getting incentivized for being able to make more money. Did you hear what I said? You're being incentivized for you to be able to make more money. That's crazy. All right, speaking of securities, for our current security license people, we've got your continued education is due on August 31st. So go ahead and knock that out. Do not procrastinate. Do not wait. Get it knocked out ASAP. And then we also have Midwest Builder School coming up on October 3rd and 4th. Go ahead and mark it in your calendar. Take off of work. We want to see you there because big decisions happen at big events, and you just want to be in the room with us. You want to be able to experience that energy, be able to learn from our biggest leaders. We have Assad and Lois Faraj, who are $1 million earners and OGs in the company, and also Jerry and Rhonda Byers, who are also $1 million earners and OGs in the company. And you want to be there to be able to hear their wisdom, learn from them. Now, if you cannot make it to Michigan, because this is in Sterling Heights, Michigan, you still want to grab your tickets because they do offer this virtually. Okay, so you want to go ahead and grab your tickets. So scan that QR code, take a screenshot. There's a link at the bottom of the page here. Go ahead and lock those in because it is your last month to buy tickets. August 31st marks the last day. You want to go ahead and grab those. All right, guys, I am so honored and excited to bring up our first training portion of the evening. We've got a treat for you guys. We have a regional vice president panel, and that's going to be led by Jarrell Borden. We're going to have Coach Dan, Coach Jerome, and Coach Nate speaking to us tonight. So get your notes out and get ready. This is going to be good.
Thank you, Sierra. Well, one thing I want to say to you, girl, while I got you up here is listen, you're going to win that trip, right? And what we're going to teach you guys tonight is how to get that reset. All you got to do is 1 by 1,000, right? 1 by 1,000, and it's done. And so you want to speak that over. You say, I'm going to win that trip. Put a picture in front of you as well and just have that vision and just work towards it every single day, right? And guys, listen, we got 11 days left, right? We got 11 days left to give it all we got. And I'm just really excited to be on with a group of leaders, my brothers from another mister, right? That we get to talk to you guys about how to get the reset, right? You have Regional Vice President Dan Romai, right? $200,000 earner. I'm sorry, right? $400,000 earners, Senior Vice President Nate Braley, and then you got the incredible Regional Vice President Jerome Cooper, and we're just excited just to come to you guys tonight. And so let's have some fun. Let's teach the people like how to get the reset, the power of the reset. How can that help you from like these next 11 days and just what that does for you as far as like momentum and things of that sort. And so I just want to open it up and just have an open discussion. Let's start with you, Dan. Just like, what's your thoughts about this reset? I mean, I know me personally, I'm like a kid in a candy store, right? Like, I'm just excited. I know we just got back from San Diego, and I'm like, man, if people knew what it was like to be in that room, like everybody on this call would get their reset like tonight, right? And so, like, talk about that.
Yeah. Well, for us, like our very first trip was actually to Marco Island, and we won it because we came in after it started and we got a reset. Like when they had a reset available, we hit the reset and it put us in position to actually fight for and win the trip. And at that trip, we got a future jersey and a whole bunch of other things. But that reset Andy put out in front of us as like, hey, you can actually like qualify for this trip. Like it makes it so I don't know exactly where all of you guys coming in like listening or watching are at in terms of how long you've been here, but man, if you got started like last week, it equals the playing field for people that have been working at this for months, right? And I think that's super powerful because you have people that have been here for a long time that are busting their butt trying to win this trip for whatever reason. They're really excited about Marco Island or whatever it is that the next trip is, but this reset, right? This reset gets people excited. It pulls people out of the woodwork, right? Like my mom got her reset the other day, right? And I know she was fired up about it because she has not won a trip here yet. And every trip she's like, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. And she actually got a reset and she's rocking and rolling right now. And she's carrying that momentum and helping her people now look at how they can get their reset, right? So it's just so important that you recognize how powerful that 1 by 1 reset really is.
Yeah, that's good, Dan. So my first trip that we won, we were in the Bay Shop, so we were in our office. We weren't regional vice presidents yet. We were senior regional leaders, and that came from a reset. And what I love about the the trips, Jarrell, is you're competing for a reset, you're competing for a trip, and the entire time you're building your business, right? So I tell people all the time, here's worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you missed the trip, but you got a business built and you make some good cash helping some people in the process. So you need to be fighting like heck for that reset, if not for anything, to jumpstart building your business. So that's kind of my take on it, man. We're excited. I got my reset drill. I think I got our reset like 2 or 3 days in. We had that sucker. And I think Dan owes me a wristband for my reset also.
I do.
I'm waiting for my wristband, Dan. Can you mail that to me, please?
I'm waiting for him to come in, bro. I ordered him the other day.
Here you go. What do you think, Nate?
I think if you've ever had the greatest birthday ever, that's like winning the trip. By the way, speaking of birthdays, happy birthday, Phil Hodo, on the line. So happy birthday. So Phil's going to work to win the trip for his birthday. But put in the chat, happy birthday, Hodo. But yeah, like, it's wildly exactly what we were talking about. The new person that's just starting in the business today, just today, you just got started with us. Congratulations. Welcome to the greatest business opportunity you'll ever experience. I graduated high school with a 2.1 GPA and I'm making $400,000 a year here at this company. Like that's crazy. But it all started because we went out and we did 1 by 1,000. I made the decision for her, but Mel was pretty reluctant early on. Like, I'm not doing this business. My wife, Melanie, right? She's like, I'm not doing this business. I was like, I don't care. We're getting a promotion and we're getting our bonus. So I'm recruiting you. And then we're going to do our own life insurance. Like we got laid off from Bank of America. We had no life insurance at the time. My mom died when I was 16 with no life insurance. So the importance was there. And I knew we needed the insurance. It just made sense for us. So I recruited my wife. We did over 1,000 in premium because we needed the coverage. And so we got our first bonus and it put us on track at that time to winning the La Costa trip. Jarrell, you remember coming in with La Costa. Or I'm sorry, no, that was Hawaii. And then we qualified for La Costa, but it put us on track. Now I think about today is like, that was like a $50 bonus back when us old guys started 12 years ago. Today, doing that same one recruit, so bringing on one new associate, so you could bring on your spouse, all right, and then you could do, a life insurance policy, help your, a family, a friend. You can help your own family if you don't have any, and you see the value in it, which I hope you should. Because again, doing the life insurance is not for the life insurance agent; it's for your beneficiary, y'all. That's really what it's for.
Come on.
But anyways, you doing that in today's environment is going to earn you a $550 bonus that gets banked, and as soon as you go get licensed, you get the $550, and you're on track to win the trip right now. That's unbelievable.
Sign me back up, man. See what?
And and Jerome, the same thing, right? I was watching all these other guys on this most recent trip, including Jarrell. Like, I'm fired up for everybody, but we didn't make it to that trip. So I went out in the first week and I got my one direct recruit, and I went out and I was over 1,400 in personal premium because I wanted to get my reset.
They don't even know how big of a deal that is, bro. You like semi-retired.
Yeah, exactly.
Nate's sitting in Panera Breads, man. He back to work.
When Nate's getting his reset, it's a big deal, y'all.
There you go.
And it's crazy though. You're talking about the bonus, right? Like I don't know if y'all heard that. So let me reverse real quick. Let me back up. Typically, you have to bring in 3 new business partners, Kia, and do $3,000 in sales for the company to pay you $600 bonus while you're working on getting licensed. Right now,
that's triple the work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's a third of the work, right? It's a third of the work. It's all you got. So 1 by 1 is more than just a reset. It's like you heard you get the bonuses, you get $550, right? You get a promotion. Right. I don't know about you, but whatever your initial investment was that you got started with this company, you're going to get it back and then some. So you've already made a profit. And all you've done on the Zoom is like this. And you don't even know what's going on. Right. But then 2, you're creating that culture because you're excited. And then you bring somebody else in, Leah, and they're like, why are you so excited? I don't know. I got a promotion. I got a bonus. I got a reset. And they're like, what is that? I don't know. You got to talk to my trainer. And then before you know it, success of speed. Right. And just like you said, Dan, like your mom's excited. Right. But guess what? Her excitement is contagious. It's going to feed on other people, and other people are going to want to do what? Do more. So now, Karen, your job is to go help somebody else go do it because you've already done it. And when you help them do it, you play another game with yourself and help that person do it. And before you know it, you help 10 people. And you should just think really big right now because what I do know, just looking out there, like people are struggling right now, right? And so this could be the difference of someone making a extra bonus, and like $550 to Nate, that's what he makes in his sleep, right? But to someone else, that could be a big dang deal. And so never forget when we got started, like why you got started here, what we do for people, and how you can make an impact, right? And so I don't know, it just again like just sharing my experience, being there, just added to the gratitude, just grateful because Nate, you talked about missing the trip. And people were asking me, where's Nate? I'm like, he's not here, And I said, but I know his butt is burning because there's people asking me, and I'm pretty sure if they're asking me, he's probably getting the text,
Oh yeah.
right? And so I know his butt's burning, but I just remember, why we were grateful, Nate, is because it was 2 years since our last trip, right? And it's just like we were so close. We got closer and closer, but we missed it by a little bit. And we know what we need to work on to be able to earn the trip. But then it's like when we got it here, it's like, man, we're working in the right direction. Jerome, you talk about building your business. Of like, hey, we're building because we're winning company trips. We're on the right trajectory,
Yeah.
right? And it's so worth it. It's just so worth it. And so talk about not winning the trip, Nate. Actually, all of us, right? Let's talk about like not winning the trip. And what was your mindset when you didn't win it? And then what was something that you say, you know what, this is what I'm going to correct and work towards so I don't miss another trip.
Well,
Yeah,
I think, for me,
go
if
ahead,
you
man.
start thinking about like not winning the trip, and there's a few things that a lot of people aren't considering. And the biggest one is your environment. You're no longer like when you win the trip, you're in the top pretty much 5% of the company or greater.
Yeah.
And so when you're surrounded by people that are winning, the conversations are just different on the trips. And so by not winning the trip, you're not involved in that environment. You're not involved in the winning. I watched a good friend of mine. We'll have to have him speak on here, one of these times. But him and his wife just got, senior national sales director. And it's from being around the environment and the competitive nature. And I'm watching a lot of these people that are doing big things right now. And it's because they're winning the trips and they're going on the trips and they're surrounding themselves with top competitors. And look, I love everybody on this screen, but we want to beat each other. And that's just in our innate competitiveness. And that's awesome. We can love each other and compete against each other. And so I think the big thing that we miss out on is not being in that culture and in that environment of the top 5% of the company. That's the big deal. The conversations are just different around the pool than they are being at home.
That's good. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, all I was gonna say was like this last trip, like seeing people there, I was like, man, I know we can be there, but we just got to ramp up the activity, right? Because the last one we should have qualified for. There was just some points discrepancies between us and home office that didn't get cleaned up, but we did qualify. We were in a qualifying position, but this one we did not. But Jarrell, I'll tell you, like, and I was looking this morning at our QBI, and I told our team our QBI is up 14% in the last 12 months, right? And so getting a reset now and running the system that we're running and doing it the right way and winning the trip in the right way, right? Like for me, honestly, we came in and I got like, I'm just being real with you. Like I was very much like, all right, like recognition Primerica, cool. Like my name on the stage, all the trophies, that's great. And like we made money, but that money turned around and left just as fast because we weren't doing what we needed to do, right? We weren't doing the full job for the client, just to be completely transparent with you guys. And so like over the last 18 months and largely because of Jerome, like Jerome and Mel have been a huge help and Nate even in the last 6 months or so been really good help with me to like get my mindset right about doing the business the right way. Right. And so now we're doing the business the right way with an increased activity and getting that reset is going to be big, right? Why? Because it's going to put us in that qualifying position and then Jarrell allow us to go out and continue to run what we're doing now the right way and win the trip the right way, right? And get recognition the right way because we're doing everything that we need to be doing to make sure that our QBI is good, our points are good, we're doing all the right stuff, right? And so for me, honestly, like it did, like, I'll be honest, like I don't like not winning stuff, but at the same time, it was a reminder of like, hey, look, like just trust the process right now. Like this is just part of it. Right. And so, but it was, again, it did burn my butt a little bit seeing some people there. I'm like, bro, I know I'm better than this person. Like I know for sure, like there's no reason like so-and-so's there and I'm not there, like it makes me a little mad sometimes, but it's okay. It's all motivation, and it's all just kind of pushing me to do the right stuff. And so, we're just trying to help our team get their resets at this point. Like we're just trying to move them and push them to do that, because if we get 20 people to get a reset, that's 20,000 in premium, right? Then we're bonusing as regional vice
And
we bonus. Like, so everything that Primerica does, whether it be a reset or a bonus or a field training, but whatever it is, like all of that stuff is designed to help you make more money, right?
Yeah.
And so you got to look at it from both sides. There's the competition side of winning the trip and getting your reset, but also when you do that, you get paid,
So
right? And
good.
like you just have to remember that if you're money motivated, sweet, go make some money. You'll probably get a reset and win the trip. Like if you don't care about the money, cool, go get a reset so you can take your spouse or your mom, your dad, whatever, on a trip with you and spoil them. Like just figure out what gets you motivated, gets you moving.
That's good, man. You know, when I was constructing this panel, I was thinking like, man, this is kind of a simple topic for the four of us to be talking about to the people tonight, and not like closing the meeting out with something better. But man, we got to get you guys to think the way that we think. That regional vice president title did not come from thinking a certain way. So, I had this thought, Drill, when you were talking about the one by one. Most people are linear thinkers, right? So, we just think about, the one, especially if you get the one by one, you get the one new teammate and the one or two clients outside of your home. Like here's how I look at it. I just got one new person that I can field train and work with. Right? We could completely forget about that because you think about, I got my recruit. Well, we're not just collecting applications, Jarrell, right? We're bringing on teammates to work with.
Right.
If it took me one or two clients, depending on your market, to get to $1,000 in premium, well, you probably just got anywhere from 10 to 20 referrals also, right? So we're such linear thinkers. You think about just a little simple one by one, but it's so much more that happens in that one by one. As far as losing the trip is concerned, Drill, it's even worse when you won a trip and you know what a trip is like, what it feels like, what it smells like, what's going on there.
Yep.
Ian used to talk about this all the time. But once the mind has been expanded, it cannot contract back to its normal size. But that does not mean you don't play where you're supposed to play. So for us, like Dan and myself and Nate, this round we can't mess with Jarrell. Him and Jackie won the trip, right? We didn't win it this last time, but we know what it's like, right? We know what it's like to be in that environment. We know what it's like to be exposed to the things that are going on there. For a lot of you, are brand new. A lot of you maybe have won before in the past, and or you've been around and you haven't won the past trips. Like you need to go to get your vision expanded, right? On what's possible, on what's possible, man. And that's what the trips have done the most for us, is just expand our vision on what's possible. You think about traveling completely different, right? You're having conversations with your family about travel. You're like, nah, bro, I ain't traveling like that. That ain't the way you go, right? But like, why are we talking like that? Because my vision's been expanded, right? I've been escorted from the airport to my resort, right? We know what that's like. We've had an entire park shut down. Nobody else in the park other than Primerica reps. We shut down entire resorts. You call and ask what it costs to shut down a resort, by the way, and let me know what it costs to do that.
These
It's a
are
different ball game.
$10 million trips.
Yeah, different ball game. So you need to fight to go and get your vision expanded, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's cool to take your family. Yeah, you want to go have a good time, but the biggest thing that can happen for you is to have your vision expanded and see what is possible for you in your life. So, because if you don't know what's possible for you in your life, why work towards something?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what winning and losing has done for me, Jarrell.
Yeah, no, that's good. I love that you guys shared. I know we got a couple of minutes left, but one of the tips I want to share with you guys too, and then we'll close it out, is that one thing that me and Jackie have been doing. I mean, we've been doing before the trip, but even more so after the trip, is just calling your people, right? And so don't be so reliant on texting your people. Like, hey, Karen, you want to reset? She can't hear your excitement, but if you pick up the phone and call people, you have control of the conversation. And then when they say yes, you can literally walk them through what they need to do and just break it down into smaller pieces, right? And so my last question, I mean, you got 2 minutes, but I'm coming to you, Nate, but like, why is it important to be engaged as your leader, especially these next 11 days when it comes to winning the trip?
Well, here's what I'll tell you: is competitors they hold themselves accountable, right? Like Dan reached out to me recently. It was like, hey, I'm ready to go to the next level, do some things. I said by 10 p.m. every night, here's what you need to message me, and I may not respond, but it's I'm going to read it, and I want to make sure you're doing it, and that's because winners will run towards accountability, and so. If you want to be held accountable to winning the trip and you're going to do the things we tell you to do, you gotta speak to your leaders. We gotta hold you accountable. We know what it takes. Every single regional vice president has been on a trip in this company. So whether it be even Millionaires in Training, you've gone on and you've experienced a trip in this company.
Right.
So your leaders know exactly what it looks like. They know the vision expansion that Jerome talks about. Heck, I even know the clothing attire that they give you at the event because Jarrell's wearing it right now. Dang it. I know he woke up one night or he
Right.
went to bed one night and that was sitting on his bed. But your leaders know the way. They're showing you the way. I'm not gonna be soft about it. The reason you're not reaching out to your leaders is because you're not willing to do the things that it takes and you're hiding behind the shadows right now. And if you really want to do what it takes and you want to win the trip, call your leaders. We will help you. It's the greatest thing when you have people reach out to you as a leader that says, I want help. How do I do this?
Yep. This is this is like some national park forest, and I'm your tour guide. And you can come with me and survive, or you can go out there and get mauled by a bear. The choice is yours. That's why you should be coachable to us. We know what to do, and you don't yet, right? And that's okay.
Got a really big gun, so
that's fine, right? That's fine. Like we were there. We're still there. Like we have mentors in our lives that we go to for coaching. So nothing wrong with that. Just listen to your upline. They can help you get to where you need to be.
And don't play close to the line. I'm going to just give a last bit of coaching here, right? Don't play close to that line. I want you guys to get the reset, and you only have to fight a few months. You're getting the reset this month, and then you're fighting it out September and October to win the trip. So you've got 2 months to go real hard, and it's the greatest 2 months that Primerica ever sees. Right now is back to school. Our best months in this business, all of our record stuff has come from a jump start from September, October, November. I promise you that.
Yep. And the only other thing I'll add to what you guys were just saying was like, don't underestimate how much you can do in 11 days, right? Like Nate, you texted me about this yesterday. Like we're at, I think 4,000 or 5,000. I didn't look this morning to see if something posted or not, but we're at like 4,000 to 6,000 in premium. We'll finish the month over 20.
Better be over 20.
And Kim, that's because for whatever reason in Primerica, more production comes in the last 7 days of the month than in the previous 25 or whatever. Primerica months don't make sense, but y'all get
it's sense of urgency.
Right.
People know that they can win the trip with a 1x1, and unfortunately, that's most of Americans, and they wait until the last minute. If you focus on 1x1 every single week here's the other trick. Okay, we're just a minute over time. If you focus on 1x1 every week in Primerica, 12 months from now, there's no way you're not putting this ring on and coming back and saying 100%. I was a liar to you. All right.
Fire.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
All right, y'all. Listen, incredible panel. Look, we got all set ourselves up, right? So we don't keep going because we all like, hey, we just want to bring you guys the fire and just show you guys what it takes to get there, right? Just really teach you guys. And so listen, our next speaker talking to you guys about investments, Regional Vice President Jeff Miller.
Thank you, guys. Man, how do I follow that? The 4 big dogs they're talking about how to win trips and resets, man. I'm a regional vice president too, and I've been on a trip myself, and there's just absolutely nothing like it. So follow their lead, go do what it takes, and get it done. Okay. So tonight, guys, I'm going to talk to you about investments a little bit, and I'm going to hit you up as both as a client and as if you're an agent, which you guys potentially all are. Okay. So, it's very important to understand, because a lot of us come from corporate America and maybe have already started investing through our jobs, what the options are when we leave a job. Okay. And so there's actually 4 options, and Primerica does a really good job with this. They have a whole disclosure brochure that talks about the 4 options. I'll cover them really quickly. One of them is that you can actually leave it where it's at, unless that company is no longer continuing on business wise. I mean, that'd be the only exception if a company goes bankrupt, but you could theoretically leave a company and then still leave your retirement assets there. Okay. So that's one option, leave it. If you do get another job and that job offers, management of benefits and the opportunity to start a 401k plan, you can actually transfer or roll over the assets to the new job. So that's option 2. Option 3 is you can cash it out, which nobody ever recommends because you have to pay taxes and penalties, but that technically is an option. And I hope that people never get in that position where they do that. And then number 4 is to roll it over into an IRA, which is what I'm going to talk about, in which I believe is the best option when you weigh all the pros and all the cons of doing so. So if you're the new person, you're like, what the heck is a rollover? A rollover just simply means that we're taking assets or your savings or investments from one company and we're moving them into Primerica. We're transferring them over. Okay. And if they put it into a traditional IRA, there's not going to be any tax consequences at all. So you're not going to have to pay taxes. You're just reclassifying it or re-identifying it in the IRS. So again, if this applies to you, please take this knowledge. Please, talk to your uplines about maybe how to do this for yourself. But I'm also talking to you as if I'm talking to a client and getting them to see the benefits of actually rolling them into a traditional IRA. So here are some of the reasons that I've come up with. Number 1, I always tell people, like, do you want to call a person? The difference is calling a personal, you want personal service or do you want to call a 1-800 number? I don't know about you. We're all consumers of something, right? And we've all had to call an 800 number to complain about something, to fix something, to get a refund, to do whatever. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's like one of the most worst experiences in the entire world. Either, it takes you 10 minutes to try to even get through the prompts to figure out who you're going to talk to. Now everything's automated, right? And then you got to hope you talk to the right person. You got to hope that you can understand. You got to hope that you can properly be able to explain things. And that person, look, at the end of the day, they're just doing a job and they don't care about you at all. I mean, they care about their job and they care about the customer service to a little bit, but they don't really have a vested interest in you, do they? No, they're just kind of taking the complaint and moving on, right? What I tell my clients is would you rather call a 1-800 number, be at the mercy of their schedule? Usually it's during business hours and it's maybe a 12-hour period or whatever. Or would you rather have my personal cell phone? You can call me really anytime. And if I can't get to your call today, I will call you back within 12 to 24 hours, right? They know that when they're talking to me, they're talking to a real person who has a familiarity with their situation, right? Because chances are they're a client of something else, or I know them, they're a friend, they're a family, or referral or somebody. So just ask yourself this question. Would you rather talk to a 1-800 customer service number, or would you rather have a personal service of working and having a relationship with somebody? Number 2 is there's way, way more investment choices with dealing with a financial professional at Primerica, right? Primerica is a distributor of financial products. We work with all the major mutual fund companies, right? The Franklins, the Vanguards, the Americans, there's like at least 8 or 10 of them. And each one of these mutual fund companies has literally hundreds of options. My wife still works in corporate America. I look at her statements and I rebalance them. I only get about 10 options when I'm looking at her options. And she works for a very large company. So if you might experience this, guys, yourselves. Like if you look at if you're working and you have an option to put into your 401k at your job, look at the choices they give you. There's no more than maybe 20 or 30 at most. Whereas with working with a Primerica professional, because we are a broker and we can work with all these different companies, we literally have thousands of options. And the way it was kind of explained to me, and I don't know how many people are from a really small town. My wife's parents kind of grew up in a small town up north where I think their graduating class was like 20 people. I went to a kind of a larger high school where there was 570 people. Mike DeLisi and on the call, and him and I went to the same high school together. Anyway, if you had a choice, if you were starting a team, for an example, would you, or of anything, a competitive team, would you rather have a pick of 20 people, or would you rather have a pick of 2,000 people or 3,000 people? Right? It's just numbers, right? You want more options. We all want more options. So by moving it into an IRA with Primerica, we have access to all these different mutual fund companies and all these different choices. The third possibility here, the third benefit, could be the possible savings of fees or expenses.
Get back in the car. Get back.
Now, I don't use this as a selling point because the longer I've done this, we're not always saving money, I guess, for people. It just depends upon how their plan is set up with their company. If somebody works for a very, very large company, the fees can actually be very minimal because they're paying somebody like a Fidelity or Vanguard to manage all their employees' money, right? We don't work for free, okay? We do charge fees to help our clients. So if you really work for a large firm, the costs are kind of minimal. But if they work for smaller companies, I've seen some of the fees be totally outrageous. Like they're spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, a year to have somebody to manage their money. Okay. And so just be aware when you do submit like an account in Primerica. If it's a retirement account, there is like this tool called the IRA Assembler tool, which will help kind of figure out their fees, okay, to see and kind of give them full disclosure of what they're paying and all that stuff within the funds, okay? But in many cases, there could be a savings, right? I know when people have their money managed with other companies that rhyme with Merrill Lynch and Charles Schwab and Edward Jones, right? Some of those companies charge huge amount of fees to manage whatever assets that they have. And I know from firsthand experience, our fees are some of the lowest in the industry, okay? But the point is that chances are, if they're working for a company, they could be paying higher fees than what it would be to move their money over to with us. So that's a possible savings there. Number 4 is an account consolidation of an accounts. Okay. Sometimes people work for many different companies over their careers, and they have all these different 401k accounts all over the place. Would you rather track all these accounts and have all these different statements and have to remember all these different account numbers? Or would you rather just have it all in one nice place where it just keeps it simple and convenient? Okay. So, depending upon who you talk to and depending upon how many times they've moved and how many times or how many accounts they've had set up, it is a big advantage and a convenience to put their money in one spot. And with the way it's set up with our mutual funds that we have, the more money that people have to invest, any sales charges or commissions they have with us are actually reduced as they get more money with us, right? So if I had 25,000 in one spot, 25,000 another, 25,000 another, 25,000 another, I would pay more in fees than if I actually had 100,000 in the same spot. Does that make sense, guys? So it does make sense to kind of consolidate all of that. And then number 5 is it avoids the possibility of an asset freeze. And what that means is, so if I'm working for a company and I decide to use Vanguard as the company that manages my employees' assets, and I'm not happy with Vanguard, and I'm not happy with their service, I'm not happy with their cost, and I decide to change that to Fidelity or somebody else, there's a transition period, right? My employees, if I'm changing from Vanguard to Fidelity, sometimes I think there's up to like a 90-day or maybe even a 6-month waiting period or frozen period where my employees can't get access to their money because I made a change as to who's managing the money. Okay. I've actually heard of an example or two where clients were in retirement and they were drawing money out of that retirement account and they couldn't do it because, they were still working and they were in their 60s, but they were drawing money out, and they couldn't do it because the company they worked for was changing the administrator of their benefits. You never want to get caught in that situation, right? You always want to have access to your money when you need it. That just can't exist. If I had one of you as my clients and we were in one of the mutual fund companies and we decided for whatever reason to put it into another mutual fund company, it's just an instantaneous thing. It's not, there's no frozen periods. There's no waiting to get your money. Okay. So those are the main 5 things as to why someone should consider rolling their money over to an IRA. So if I'm talking to somebody, I'm having a conversation, right? Well, let me role play this in a second, but guys, you need to create value of why people should want to work with you. Okay. And I know when you're new, you don't really have that value yet, as the experience and value to me are kind of the same thing. So use the person that got you in the business, or your regional vice presidents, for that. But as you build credibility with people, as you build integrity people, every person I sit down with, I'm telling them why they should do business with Jeff Miller and why they should do business with Primerica, right? And I use some of these examples that, hey, listen, as a Primerican, as someone who's probably done their life insurance, has probably done a financial plan for them, I have a vested interest in their success. I want to see them win, because the more I help them, it's the right thing to do. The more referrals I'm going to get, and it's going to build, it's going to make everybody feel good, right? We're in a do good, feel good business. So like I said, that 1-800 number person doesn't care about you. They're not supposed to care about you, right? They don't have a personal relationship with everybody that calls them. So I want to make sure that I'm going to help them. It's in my best interest and their best interest to help them reach their financial goals faster and more efficiently, right? We do offer a free financial needs analysis. If you have not done that yet, do that with your upline or your regional vice president. That will help you create a blueprint to help you reach your financial goals. And we do it for free, whereas everybody else has a plan that's nowhere near what we do, and they charge money for it, like $1,000 to $2,000. I tell my clients I'm going to do rather regular follow-ups and check-ins with them. I call my investment clients every 3 months, or even more frequently as needed. And I offer them all these other financial solutions to them, like life insurance, paying down debt, PLPP, all the other different products and services that we offer. And it kind of closes out here. Just, guys, take action. You do not need an investment license to ask questions. If somebody has recently changed jobs, if somebody is saving for their retirement. Okay. Now, to actually set up an account and make recommendations, the actual products to invest, yes, you need a license. First step is to get your life license. Second step is to get your investment license. But here's what I look for: people who just changed jobs. And I put 5 to 8 times there because statistically, most people change jobs between 5 to 8 times in their lifetime. I look for life changes, kind of like the macho that we talked about earlier, married, age appropriate, children. Well, one of the life changes is changing jobs. So every time I see on Facebook, if I look at their profiles and I see where they worked, I've seen people that worked here. They list 20 different places where they worked. Chances are they have a 401k sitting somewhere. Guys, I'm just trying to tell you, this is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for, if I'm on LinkedIn or other social media where they say, I just started a new job, I just left this job. Boom, that should be a light bulb should go off. I need to talk to them. I need to find out if are they saving for retirement, and they have an old 401k. People getting closer to retirement. Anybody over 59 and a half can take their money out without penalties or anything, okay? And now the rule of a rollover is if I'm 30 years old and I change jobs at 32, I can still move the money over. Okay. But if I'm working at a company, typically I can't touch that money until they're 59 and a half. And then offer a financial needs analysis for every single client. Because guess what? It gives you those questions to ask. When you're inputting the data, it tells you exactly, hey, do you have any assets at a former employer? Have you rolled them over yet? Guys, I went through a lot of information. If you have any questions, get with your upline, get with your regional vice president. but there's literally over $1 trillion sitting on the sideline. Yes, I said trillion, that have people that have saved money at 401ks and have left. And if you even get a small sliver of that pie, you'll definitely create some financial independence doing that. That's it for me, guys. Next up, we have Nate, the Great Braley, $400,000 earner, as you heard earlier, to take us through some recognition.
Man,
Nate,
that
take
was
it away,
awesome,
buddy.
Jeff. Great job. Just such great information. That's exactly the tools that I use on the investment and security side. So congratulations to those paying attention here. That was awesome. My favorite part. It's my favorite part. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for some recognition. I hope you're ready to get recognized, and let's cheer for all those that deserve the recognition as well. Just remember, when we say there's only one, number one, I want to see those fingers in your cameras. All right, guys, let's get it opened up. Friday night live training. Here we go. So personal recruiting. These are our new associates. Bringing on board new associates, hitting some bonuses too for you new people. Melissa Nelson, Carolyn Breinser, Sierra, great job. Stephanie, Sarah, Amanda, Alyssa, Chloe, Kendra, Kristen, Asia, and Calvin and Sierra, great job. And guys, look at all this. Now we got into two. They got two personal. Let's get up for Mackenzie, Brooklyn, Jennifer, Brooke, and Mackenzie again. Look at that. Mackenzie's all over the place. We got Brooklyn and Brooks and all over the place. I love it. You guys are meeting with people that you know of same names. That's amazing. That's awesome. But in personal premium, going out and helping families yourself personal, we've got myself and MLB. We've got Jennifer Jacks in third place, Jerome and Melody Cooper in second place. In second place, Jarrell and Jackie. But there's only one. Number one, give it up for Dan and Taylor Romai by sneak out by like 160 some in free. That's like a child rider, Jarrell. All right, in personal securities, in fifth place, we got Manesh and Kim Boxy. We've got Dan and Taylor Romai, Mel Braley, Cassandra Rigby in second place, always on. And in first place, there's only one. Number one, give it up for Jeff and Michelle Miller talking about securities, because he's always on. Let's give it up for Team Recruits below Regional Vice President. Give it up for Kristen Atkins and Shayla Brown. In fourth place, we've got Jenna. Way to go. And Sharita and Dawood at number 3. And number 2, we've got Karen Stump. But there's only one. Number 1, it is Megan. Heard from her on the panel. Congratulations. Great job, Megan. Next up, Team Recruiting Top 3, Regional Vice President and below. Give it up for Team Grind. And then Team Redemption. Team Redemption was number 2. There's only one. Number 1, give it up for the Fearless Hustlers. 20 new associates already. Great job, team. All right, Team Premium below, Regional Vice President Megan Overmail, great job. Alyssa Cantrell, Karen Stump, Kelvin and Sierra, and there's only one. Number 1, give it up for Jay Jax. Jennifer, heard from her on the panel earlier too. You see, there's a thing there. We pick speakers based on production, y'all. Look at that volume. All right. Team Premium, top 3, Regional Vice President above. You got Fearless Hustlers at number 3. Wow. You got Redemption at number 2. But there's only one. Number 1, Team Grind. Y'all not going to let me do recognition anymore. All right. We got Stud Trophy. This is the personal producer in 1 week. So last Friday to this Thursday, top personal producer. But we gotta recognize last week's winner was Dan and Taylor Romai. In third place this week was Jennifer Jacks. Way to go, Jay Jacks. In second place was always on Cassandra Rigby. But there's only one stud of the week, and this week's stud is Jeff and Michelle Miller. All right, Jeff, way to go, buddy. Super proud of you. Great job. Next up, I have the distinct privilege and honor. I got to field train this young lady, and she is a steward of the system, y'all. She's followed the system. She knows the system in and out. And she's just an incredible leader, just a great woman and a good friend of mine, and beautiful through and through. Let's give it up for the great Kia Fry.
Wow, what's up, Nate? Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful introduction. I am unmuted. Y'all can hear me well, right? All right, cool, cool. So with that, it is always an honor to be able to speak to you all. I am amongst friends, so but just like with anyone who sings, they always say when it's time to perform, if you don't get a little bit nervous, right, then you've gotten too comfortable. So with that, I am still just a tiny bit, but I know that I'm at home, so it's all good. But I'm gonna jump right into my presentation. So let me share my screen with you all, and we'll be good to go. Happy birthday to Phil. This is the reason why I said that in terms of Phil is because years ago I talked about this during a presentation, and so now it's coming back full circle. And so what we're going to get into is why Primerica is so powerful, right? We look at different businesses, right, and what is successful, and we think about the McDonald's franchise. We all looked at Ray Kroc and how he established McDonald's, and that's one of the franchises that paved the way to all franchises. And so we think about the system and how great it is, right? And so what I always looked at is how does that compare to our Primerica business? So we're going to talk about the cost, the rules, education, lifestyles, and freedom when it comes to that, okay? And so here's a question. Which path gives you the most freedom, right? Buying a franchise or building a business? Okay. So here's the investment cost. When it comes to McDonald's, building a franchise, we can all agree, if you drop in the chat, right, that McDonald's is billion-dollar industry, billion-dollar company, right? Stable, suitable, right? It paved the way. Okay, we can agree with that. But there are some things that come with owning a McDonald's franchise. So a lot of times I used to think like, dog, if I just owned one of these McDonald's franchises, like how much money would I really make? But then I had to think about, you guys, what is the cost to even starting this franchise? And so what we don't get is that there are a lot of, it takes a lot of money to start a McDonald's franchise. And the other franchises come along the way, but McDonald's is the blueprint. So with that, there's a $45,000 franchise fee. So all of these fees that come with this come before you even get your McDonald's, right? The total investment is anywhere between 1.3 million to 2.4 million, okay? And on top of that, you guys, you have to have liquid assets. That means you have to be worth tangibly 500,000, okay, in liquid assets, plus have good credit. Okay, so it's not enough that you've invested your 1.3 million, not enough that you pay these fees, but you also better show that you are credit worthy and have $500,000 in assets. So what about Primerica? Well, the investment cost is just our licensing and training, right? Many of us have paid $124, that one-time investment of $99, right? And most of that you're able to get back either with a bonus, right, or some type of incentive that we have going on. So in a lot of instances, it ends up being free. So I know you might say, well, why is it 99 to 300? Well, because we not only need to get our insurance license, but also, as Jeff Miller said, our investment licenses. So with that, there's a little bit more in terms of out-of-pocket costs, but let's make it make sense, okay? And I'm going to move everybody out the way. Okay, so let's make this make sense in terms of when you see the graph. If we can start our own business with at max just $300 compared to at max $2.4 million, have no overhead, no inventory, I think we kind of win when it comes to what type of business that you want to have. On top of that, you're able to open up an unlimited amount of offices or agencies, right? So the 2.4 million, that's just one McDonald's. My slide won't advance. There we go. So then we have to think about, okay, so that's the money aspect, right? But then we need to think about who's really in control when we own our business. So when it comes to McDonald's, they have a strict menu. You must follow that menu. The prices are already etched in. So if you don't want to sell your Shamrock Shake, you don't have a choice in that. You still have to sell it regardless of. You still have suppliers that you must deal with. You have audits that you have to deal with. And if you don't pass those checks, you get penalized, you get dinged. You also run the risk of being shut down, okay? With Primerica, you're able to build your own brand. That's phenomenal because I can put my stamp on it, right? So it's not only that you have your Primerica business, but it's the Jeff Miller business, right? It's Borden and Associates. It's the Braley Financial Group, right? Whatever, however you want to brand your business, your Primerica business, you can do so. Of course, you have to be compliant. So there's some compliance things that you must do, but you have that autonomy. You get to set your own schedule. Nobody's on your back telling you when to work, when to not work, right? You get to choose your own clients, who you decide to work with. Jeff just talked about what type of clients that he looks for, what type of people that he looks for. When the ladies were talking on the panel, they were talking about who they call, who they build your list with. You get to choose that, okay? So handcuffs, even though they might be golden, are still handcuffs at the end of the day, right? So you can either have that strict control or either you can break free of those chains and have the freedom with your Primerica business. What about education? What does it take in order to be able to get through the McDonald's path? Okay, number one is a 12 to 18-month training at what they call Hamburger University. And less than 1% of people actually get into this university. So it's harder to get into Hamburger University than it is to get into Harvard. Now, when I heard that, that kind of blew me away. And they're only looking for those people who are either already employed with them or they have that money. So not only do you have to have that 1.3 to 2.4 million, pay all of those fees, but then you got to be qualified in order to get through the intensive training program before you even start. And that's only preparing you for restaurant management. And with Primerica, you got weeks to get licensed. It don't take you all day in order to get licensed, in order to be able to have the education. It doesn't take you forever to get securities license either. We need to stop breaking that myth. You can get securities license right away. You just continue your studying from the time you get your life insurance license, keep moving through to your securities license because you're already you're mentally prepared in order to already continue to study. So do so. Our focus is personal finance, entrepreneurship, and leadership. So we get a world-class education on money and how money works, right? You can't beat that. Then there's the income potential. With McDonald's, you think that all of that money that you put in each year, profit per location is $150,000 to $250,000 per year after a $1.3 million investment. With Primerica, there's no cap and it's scalable. So you build with sales and a team, then you have higher return on your investment. So education is easy. You can get licensed quickly. The investment is nil to none when you think of other franchises, right? With Primerica, I think we kind of win here, right? So when you start to get concerned about asking someone for $124, think about if you were to ask them for 1.3 million. Which would you rather ask somebody for, right? And so with that, there also comes the lifestyle and freedom. As I wrap up, McDonald's is a 24/7 operation, even if you are an owner, even with managers. A lot of times we think that, like, we say, oh, you don't see the manager. I mean, you don't see the owner, but they have employee issues, manager issues, and what you make depends on your location. So if your location sucks, then that kind of plays a role on how well your McDonald's will do, right? Can't be out in the middle of nowhere in the desert where it's not a highly populated area and still make money. With Primerica, there's a flexible schedule, part-time, full-time. It's scalable with your business team, and it is aligned with purpose. McDonald's never helped me on my weight loss goals, right? But Primerica definitely has helped me and many others with our financial goals. So with that, I just want the main takeaway is with McDonald's, you're buying a job. With Primerica, you're building your future and building a business. And with that, thank you guys so much for your time. And I'm going to bring up my incredible coach for her to be able to take it away. Jackie, go ahead, girl.
What's up, family? Happy Friday Night Live, y'all. What an incredible presentation too, Kia. I was just sitting here just in awe of like just the balance between building a business and all the different things that you can be able to grow here to you guys, because hey, nothing is in comparison to Primerica. And guys, I'm excited because I get to really help teach you guys, hey, why you must win these trips, y'all. And we had a great panel earlier on how to do it and how to do it now, right, y'all? So guys, bring the fire in the chat. I thrive off of the chat. So make sure you're livening it up, delivering value in the chat to you guys, because it really excites me to see you guys all engaged. So I can't wait to see all you guys dropping some love in the chat too. So I'm going to have fun with my little toddler over here too. But guys, I really want to set the stage with y'all too, like why you must win these trips. And so guys, I just want you to picture this with me just for a second. You and your family, ocean breeze, and everything paid for because you earned it, y'all, because you earned it as well too. And I'll have to go to my next slide too, but picture this. You and your family, ocean breeze, everything paid for because you earned it. And so I just want to give you guys kind of like a really great thing to think about, especially when you're winning these trips. You know, when we were in San Diego too, you guys, it was all expense paid. You know, it's beautiful what it felt like to walking through that incredible and that amazing resort, you guys, driving up from the airport. And guys, hey, you literally transportation was free to that freaking resort as well too, guys. It was just so amazing to really see as well too. And going on to my next slide as well too, I'm going to walk you guys through what it felt like. You know, like as you can see, we had some folks in front of us, but we walked into this brand new resort, you guys, just brand new, excitingly built, you guys. And it's amazing because this really excited me of being a part of something like this too. And as I have to ask you this as well, like who here wants to travel like royalty? You know, who not wants to worry not about the bill and have your family see what your hard work is creating, guys? Hey, definitely drop some hand emojis in the chat, y'all, because this is what you can work towards and fight for within this business, you guys. And hey, all of the things that you're working hard for and that you're growing for, you can do this for your family as well too. And guys, so I'm going to share you guys a little bit about our San Diego story, what it looked like. It was amazing, to be totally honest with y'all. You know, I'm going to kind of walk you guys through it if that's okay, because this is why we go win these trips. And so I'm going to walk you guys through our story, but then also too, I'm going to show you guys how to go win the trip as well. And so moving on to my next slide as well, this is what was so beautiful about it, guys. Like Jaden was in awe on being on that plane, you guys. Like Jaden's been on a plane quite a few times, but it's beautiful because since he's at this new stage in life, especially being at 2, it's amazing because he's looking out the window and awe going, wow, you know, and it's beautiful, guys, because they paid for our tickets. We didn't pay a dime flying in, you know, knowing the company picked up the tab. That hits different, y'all. How many can you guys say that as well too. It hits different. And so that's something that we really got to take advantage of too, you guys, like being on that flight, you know, Jaden watching Bluey, looking out that window. And it's amazing because, guys, when you fly out, you get to see other of your fellow Primericans on the flight with you as well, too. And it's so beautiful because, hey, you may catch seeing $1 million earner on that flight, too, or future $1 million earners, right? And that's just what was so powerful about our trip going out to San Diego as well, too, guys. And so moving right along, too, y'all, like the hotel was beautiful. You know, it's amazing because when you came into this space, you guys, it was brand new. As you can see on the right, that was our hotel room. It was beautiful. The colors were amazing. You know, guys, just walking into that room and seeing like, and you know, you always get excited about the little things, right? Too, of like seeing like, you know, being able to have like a little coffee bar. And it was cool because they had a huge flat screen TV in there too, you guys. And it was amazing because we had family movie nights once the night was over with as well too. But it's just beautiful because it really showed us what was important about being at this trip and feeling that value as well too. And then as you guys can see on the left, they bless you with gifts upon gifts, you guys. And so that was actually one of the beautiful bags that we got as well too, y'all. And then I'm over here wearing a really great and amazing windbreaker that they gave us as well too, guys. They treat you like royalty of being at these trips. And it was just beautiful just to see like why we put so much hard work into this as well too. And then guys, you can't go wrong with the food. That's the next one I'm talking about, y'all. You can't go wrong with the food. You know, what was cool about this one too, guys, it's one of the things that I loved was the opening session. And so I got a chance to go down there and spend some great time with some of the incredible leaders too. And guys, they had an ice cream bar, literally anything that you wanted when it came to ice cream. They had soft serve, obviously, as you can tell right there too. I actually have a picture of the Haagen-Dazs that I got too, but I was over at the ice cream bar. I was literally over there with $600,000 a year earners, the Coopers. Brittany Cooper was over there at the ice cream bar with me. $100,000 a year earner, Sarah Fallett was over there with me too. And guys, it was amazing just having, just being taken care of as well too. And then I saw Ellie, she's like, I literally got done eating ice cream. Yeah, guys, like it was on the company tab. And what was so beautiful about it too, is you didn't have to think twice about swiping your card. It was taken care of for you as well. And then obviously each morning when we had our sessions, they took care of breakfast for you so that you can be rocking and rolling, getting things started for an incredible day of being in the business, you guys. And so with that being said too, you know, what's really neat about it is you have sessions that you go to throughout each day as well too, you guys. And it's incredible because you're learning directly from top earners within the company, people that are crushing it. And guys, just a statistic for you, there was over 1,300 winning couples at this trip, you guys. And so think about that for a second. You could be one of those winning couples or one of those amazing individuals that is going to be winning this trip. And it wasn't just fun, guys. You left smarter, you left sharper, you felt excited about what you were doing. And it's amazing because I actually sat across from a couple that I actually met down at East Coast Builder School. Funny enough, they had won the trip. And it's amazing too, because, you know, I was talking to him. He's like, I honestly don't know how I won this trip. He's like, I just worked hard and I won the trip. You know, and guys, like, that's what's so beautiful about this is when you put hard work into this, you show up, you're consistent, you face the byproduct of winning this trip, you guys. And so if you keep this in focus in your center ear and you're like, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put this forth as well too, guys, it's going to be a byproduct of the hard work you're doing as well too. And so just keep that in mind, you guys, it's just being a part of that culture and being around winners and people that are eager and wanting to learn more as well. And that's the amazing part about this as well. And so I'm going to move into my next. And guys, it doesn't stop here. You're probably like, Jackie, oh my goodness, there's so many great things. But I think this is what really excited me is, you know, the pool time, the drinks, the activities. You know, Jaden had a blast in the game room that they had down near the pool as well too. And Jaden loves driving cars. As you can see, they had the Fast and Furious arcade game. And so one morning he would decided that he wanted to go test drive out the game room, you guys, and we had a blast. And as you can see too, there were so many great activities that you guys could take advantage of. Like Jaden literally played Connect 4 for hours, you guys. He would not leave that game alone too. And he made friends along the way. He actually got to hang out with Bobby Weeson's grandchildren as well that came on the trip too. He got to play cornhole with them. And Bobby Weeson is actually one of the legends inside this business, you guys. And so you get to hang out with incredible leaders on this trip as well too. And you just get to take advantage of these things. Like Jaden, like as you could see, like he had an experience of touching a salamander. He did not touch it, but he almost did as well too. But it's just cool because seeing it in his eyes really brought forth excitement for me too, y'all. Like, and it's amazing because we actually didn't plan for Jaden to come on this trip with us. It was actually last minute. And so what was beautiful about it too is when we brought him, his eyes lit up. And that's what really anchored in, wow, I'm grateful I won this trip and I brought my son with me as well too, because he gets to have these experiences. He gets to hang out at the pool. He gets to, he put on his cute little life vest and went out and played in the wave pool, you guys. And that's what you get to really deliver for your family on these trips and what you get to do for them and be able to offer these activities, you guys. There was endless amount of things that you could do. Lazy river. Hang out at the bar with, with a pina colada with incredible leaders talking about business, you guys. That's just something that allows for you to be lounging and being able to have that zero stress, you guys. And that was so beautiful about going on this trip as well. And then lastly, you guys, and I know I kind of already framed this as well too, but bringing my 2-year-old son, and this is coming in the next slide too. It was honestly a challenge keeping up with him. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, Jaden is always full of energy. He's always excited. He's very passionate about everything that he does. That's what I love about our son. But what was so neat about it is seeing it in his eyes. He was so excited. He was watching experience what we worked hard for, you guys. And, I want you guys to be able to do this for your family because they're never going to forget these moments, you guys. Being able to bring your family with you and showing them, hey, I earned this. This is something that I get to deliver as well too. And so as you can see, Jaden was knocked out. There was moments where I had to go back up to the room because he was just taking a nap, like he was just like, hey, I'm getting it in, right? But I just want to show you guys trips aren't just vacations when you go on this. They're proof, they're memories, they're moments your family will never forget or what you won't forget either because you earned them. You put in the hard work to be able to win these trips, you guys. And so that's what I really want to deliver to y'all is it's not just a vacation. It's so funny because I had a lot of people ask me as well when I was like, have fun on your vacation. It's like, what's funny? I don't look at this as a vacation. I see a mixture of pleasure and business because Primerica is my life. I've grown up in this business for the past 5.5 years, and it's beautiful because I don't consider taking a vacation away from what I do as well. And so that's what's the icing on the cake within this too, you guys. But guys, who wants to go win Marco Island? Hey, who's listening? Who's paying attention to me? Drop in the chat so I know you're listening. Who wants to go win Marco Island, you guys? And so this is about y'all. So this is where the meat and potatoes come into play. And so how many of you guys want to know how to go win the trip? I know the gentleman did a great job earlier on kind of breaking down the ins and outs, but I'm going to give you keys to success that can allow for you to go win this trip. And so here's the first thing to decide on. Trips show your family what's possible. They see the reward for the sacrifice. So trips bond you to the team and the leaders, and you're not just in business, you're in the culture. It's so important because it's expanding your vision as well too. And so last things too, trips make you more money. The people who earn trips are the people who win long-term. And so it's crazy because I actually sat at a table at opening session and the couple made $500,000 a year in the business, but if you actually look at their net worth, they were, and the streets were floored, but worth about 2.5 million net worth. So it's just amazing because, guys, you get to sit with those types of people, but they are like, hey, we don't miss a trip. We win long term. And that was just something that was so eye-opening to me as well, you guys. So every top leader I know that I saw there was like, they fight to win these. It's not optional. It's a standard that they created. So if you guys are wanting to set a standard for your team, go win these trips, because then your team will follow suit as well. So how do I go hit this reset that everybody keeps talking about, guys, right? How do I go win this reset? So guys, drop 1 by 1,000 in the chat. And so here are some examples tonight, you guys, that you can go step by step on how to create specific actions within your business. And so, guys, there's something that you can go do tonight. And I would get with your field trainer. I would get with your leader about this, but hey, maybe making a post out there tonight about what you're excited to build. You know, there's something that we do within our organization is called the opportunity post. So this is where people respond to energy. And I always say, ask your trainer for help if this is something that you're going to do. But that's something that allows for you to start creating engagement immediately. And the second thing is well, too, are you your own first client? That's something to ask yourself as well, too. You know, be your own best client, learn how this in and out. And it helps you build your belief as well, too, of the crusade of being in this business. And, you know, the amazing Kia Fry right before me, fully licensed in this business and does the full job for the client. And so that allows for you to anchor in and be your own first best client. So guys, I want you to ask yourself, are you your own best client? That's something to keep in mind with as well, too. And so here's a third step. So guys, drop easy 3 in the chat. So I know y'all are listening, right? Bring out those 4 fingers. We're almost coming, guys. We're almost coming. Here we go. But write down your easiest 3 people. Who are 3 people you'd be proud to help? Maybe think about it. Coworkers, great friends of yours, family, your mom, your dad, a great friend of yours, your aunts, your uncles, people that you went to school with, people that you're connected with. Get in front of them this coming week, you guys, because those are some people that are like, hey, I want to share with you what I'm doing. You know, it's not to try to sell them something or trying to get them to, whatever the case may be, of buying something, but it's putting them in front of and learning about what you're doing, because when you help others, it creates the byproduct of getting results in this business as well. And so fourth, know the power of talking to people. And so what's cool about this is this business is a contact sport, is kind of how I like to put it. The more people you talk to, the faster you win. And so that's why it's so important to get in front of everybody that you know, because that is something that's going to allow for you to be able to talk to people and win faster and be able to go win this trip. And so, and then lastly, edify the system. I didn't put this one on here, you guys, but this one's important too. Plug into Friday Night Live, trainings, appointments with your trainer. Don't wing it, you guys. Look around, see who's on training tonight and who stayed. Right? Because those are the people that are going to win long-term because they're plugging in as well too. And when you guys plug in, that allows for you to fight half the battle as well. And so keep that in mind as well too, you guys, is Friday Night Live should be carved into your calendar for the next 6 months. Be committed, because when you're committed, your team's going to be committed, and that's going to allow for you to grow long-term as well. And so that's where I kind of want to give you guys some reminders. I hope you screenshot it. I hope you wrote them down, because this is a great reminder to you guys. This isn't about doing 100 things at once. It's about doing a few simple things consistently with a sense of urgency. And so guys, when you consistently show up, that's where you're going to win long-term in this business. It's not a sprint. It's not a race. It's a marathon. Keep that in mind too, you guys, because that is what's going to allow for you to live in this business long term. And so that's where I kind of want to close you out with you guys tonight too. But as I come to a close, I really want to anchor this in with you guys. You know, when we talked and when we walked through that hotel lobby in San Diego, guys, I was like, it was worth every late night that Jarrell and I had. every phone call, every no. You know, I just want to walk through Marco Island's lobby with you guys. I want to be there. I want to give you a hug. I want to see the smile on your face, your kiddos' faces, or your spouse's faces, whoever you decide to bring with you, because that's where it's going to be well worth it to you guys, of anchoring yourself in and knowing that you did this. And so, guys, I have to kind of move on over to kind of into this. So here it is, you guys. And if you see your name on this, screenshot this as well. But these folks are literally one recruit or one average family with life insurance away from their reset, you guys. And so watch the leaderboards, see where your team is at, see, are they anchoring themselves in? Are they getting it out, right? Like, I'm going to use some examples too. Yeah, we have the amazing Megan Hovermail on here, you guys. You know, also too, I know we have the amazing Dylan Minka. We got the amazing Carla McKinney. I know we have the amazing Brooklyn Bender, Kristen Askins. Oh, Brooke Fox, I see you on the leaderboards, girl. But guys, you guys are literally one step away from winning this trip and putting it on position to be able to be on track to win it as well. And so that's why it's so important to go after it, be able to lock in that spot as well to you guys, because that's where it all comes into play as well. So guys, I just want you to make a decision tonight. You know, not if, but how. Who's going to be on that beach with me? Who's going to be on that beach with these incredible leaders that you saw tonight, you guys? Who's going to show their family what they're capable of? Because that's where you guys really got to ask yourselves, why is this trip important to me? And why is this trip important to my team? And I really want to share something powerful with you that we actually heard from one of our great mentors this past week. And it really helped Jarrell and I's mindset. And I trust it delivers value to what you guys are creating too. Start thinking about this. You know, this is who I am. And so this is what I do. And so what's crazy about it to you guys is society has it backwards. This is what I do. So this is who I am. And so you got to keep that in mind, you guys, as well as you start to grow in this business. You got to realize, who am I? I'm a person that wins trips. I'm a person that wins in this business. I'm a person that's on the beach. I'm a person that is of integrity. I am a winner. I am a champion. I'm a leader. And what do champions and leaders do? They lead from the front. They stay engaged. They take things to the next level. And that's where you guys can really come forth and take things to the next level. They win. And you guys are all winners on this call for those that you stayed till the very end. And so keep that in mind, you guys. Decide tonight. Make a decision. Who's going to be there? Who's going to go get their reset? Who's going to take that action and lead things to the next level as well, you guys? And so with finishing up, I want you guys to reach out to your trainers tonight, right now, saying, I want the reset. Those of you that are ready to go win that trip, be able to go take on that reset as well too, you guys. That's where you're going to be able to take things to the next level and be able to grow and take things over as well too. And so guys, that's what I really want you to do, is reach out to your trainer right now and say, hey, I want that reset. What do I need to do, coach? Put me in, because I want to take advantage of this and take this to the next level. Hey, shout out to the amazing Sharita Mayberry, first person that just texted me. I want the reset. That's coachable, you guys. Extremely coachable as well too, y'all. And so without a doubt, I'm excited. I'm excited to take this business to the next level with you guys. I'm so excited to see where it leads. I can't wait to see you guys all in Marco Island in February as well too, y'all. I love each and every one of you so very much. Let's get after it. Have an incredible evening, you guys, as well too. And hey, I'm excited to take things to the next level with each and every one of you. And hey, I'll see you on the next Friday Night Live, you guys. Make sure it's plugged into your calendar. I'll see y'all next Friday. Have a great night.